March 10th, 2023, the Garage Orloff Show. It's a Friday morning. Thought we would look at some more records. We've been looking at records the last few episodes and some toys, and got about half the viewership as normal because I guess people want to see comic books. I'll show you some comic books, but right now I'm going through records. Let's see what we got here. I'm trying to divide records into the ones I'm taking upstairs to put, where records that are listened to more often, and then some records that aren't listened to quite as much that I'm going to put in the basement, and, I'm dividing records. So here's the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds. That'll be going upstairs. Let's see. So let's put that over here. Those are the ones going upstairs. Do you guys know about this band, the Mummies? They were a band from the 1990s, but if you listen to them, it sounds just like a garage rock band from the 60s. And they dressed as mummies on stage, which is an amazing gimmick. You would think that people in the 60s would have thought of it. See, if you didn't know any better and looking at just this photograph, you might think that was taken in the 1960s. They're a very authentic 60s sounding band, except, there's occasional bad language. This is their hearse that they would drive around to take them to gigs. Very, that's the back of their hearse. Yeah, I must say this is good music, and seek it out. There's another album by the Mummies. This is Running on Empty, Volume 1. So, these go upstairs. What do we have here? It's Pearls of Love by The Players. Okay. What else do we have here? Here's Ella Mae Morris. Maybe people don't watch the last few episodes because I've been showing records that aren't like rock and roll. So maybe that's the problem. Here's Moog Power by Hugo Montenegro. I mostly show you older artists because I keep telling you the music of today I can't stand. But I think I discovered a current band that I like, and I'm kind of in shock. I kept getting these Facebook notifications about a band that's coming to perform in Des Moines in end of August. And it was this girl, looks kind of emaciated, kind of looks like if you were to morph that actress that was in Queen's Gambit and in The Northman, that kind of strange elf-looking woman. If you were to kind of if Susie Sue and that actress were to have a baby, it kind of looks like what this would be. And anyway, so I wonder what this music is like, because it's not that I think that there can't be good new music. Look, that's Norvis. You know him from his hit Transfusion and Ape Call, and The Fang is a great song. I want there to be good music. I'm always on the outlook for good new music. it just doesn't come along. And I don't know that this band is popular or anything. It looks like this band's been around for a couple of years. Anyway, it's called Sir Chloe, and apparently, it's compromised by today's what do you call it, mindset. This band that's called Sir Chloe. This singer is a she they, that's and all that. So but what it sounds like, the music sounds like a mix between Garbage, which was a band I really liked in the '90s. They even did a James Bond theme, Shirley Manson of Garbage. A little bit of Susie and the Banshees mixed in, and it has a great sound like something from 30 years ago. And she's a really good singer, and she plays guitar. I mean, she's really good. Now, the morality of some of the songs may be questionable. There's not that many songs. Anyway, I cautiously recommend, from what I've heard so far, that it seems like something that I would enjoy. Here's Harry Owens, voice of the trade winds in the 50s when Hawaii was becoming a new state. This Hawaiian music became big. And of course, it also had to do a little bit with a little bit of World War II nostalgia on the part of the guys that came back home after that war. Earl Bostic, Dance Time. Earl Bostic and his alto sax. This is great music. This guy is really good. You don't hear a lot of people talking about Earl Bostic. I don't know why. The Organ Happening. The Organ Happenings. They've got Georgia Girl. That's a song. I love any version of it. Sunshine Superman. It's just cover versions of popular songs by the Organ Happenings. Here's Double Barrel Marching Dixie by the Bourbon Street Barons. Just interesting and wonderful cover design on these records. Okay. I wonder how many records I can show, and then I probably need to go show some comic books, because otherwise I won't get the views, man. It's like a couple episodes back, I have 154 views, and it won't go above that. And maybe it's because I've been changing my name too much. I don't know. No telling. Of course, Kiss Love Gun. If you like Warren comic magazines, of course, you know this artist, Ken Kelly. That's here's Wilma Flintstone telling the story of Bambi. Here's Little Abner, Faux Chillin'. I'll give you a better view of that wonderful Al Cap art. Here's Christmas with the Chipmunks. I need to put that with the Chipmunks records that you saw last time. But look at this great art. Now, I think that could be Frank Frazetta art, actually. Frank Frazetta spent a good deal of the 1950s as the ghost artist on Little Abner comic strip. All right, these records go upstairs. Well, there should be a live broadcast tonight, 7, 8 o'clock Central, something like that. Gonna do a special Friday celebration since I seem to have gone over 500 subscribers. Went back down to 500 for a while last night. Now it's up to 502. It seems to fluctuate. Now, dinner music for a pack of hungry cannibals. It's Dave Harris and his Powerhouse 5. This is all music that is, they're performing the music of Raymond Scott, which is the music you hear in the Warner Brothers cartoons. So this album sounds like a Warner Brothers, vintage Warner Brothers cartoon. Here's Robin Hood starring Top Cat. Top Cat was one of the great Hanna-Barbera series of the 60s, up there with Johnny Quest and everything, and Space Ghost and all those things. Top Cat was great. And in Mexico, Top Cat was a much bigger hit than it was in the United States. They call him Don Gato there. And it was so popular that in the 80s or possibly 90s, there was a Mexican-made Top Cat animated theatrical feature film. Maybe at least one, maybe there were two of them. That I'm not sure if they've been, ironically, I'm not sure if they've been dubbed into English for us. I mean, it's like an American cartoon coming back to us from another country because we're too ignorant or stupid to realize how great our culture is, so it leaves it to other countries to remind us of that. Here's Nelson Riddle. I've been showing you a lot of Nelson Riddle. It's witchcraft. A lot of kind of cheesecake art on these old records. This is another example. Nelson Riddle, Sea of Dreams. This is one of the classic covers. I've got another. That one's in the comic book world, there are people that like the newsstand version, the one that was on the newsstand, and then the one that was sold in comic book stores, from the late 80s on, that becomes a factor to people that care. Well, and when you get into records, especially records of the late 50s and into the 60s, there would be the mono versions where the sounds that come out of both speakers are the same sound, or you have stereo, in which you get slightly different sounds out of each speaker to create the illusion that the band is right in front of you and you're hearing the sounds that way. So this is that same record you just saw. It's got a tear, except it's stereo. And then some people prefer stereo to mono. There are people that say that a lot of it depends on how it's mixed. The Beatles mixed most of their early records in mono, and then they were altered to be in stereo, and then you have all the Beatles' voices coming out of one speaker and all the music coming out of another speaker, and it's a little disconcerting, especially the farther the speakers are away from each other. And so some people prefer the mono versions. Of course, Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys mixed everything in mono because he had a real his father was a little very abusive. His father and one time his father hit him real hard in the side of the head, and it caused him to be deaf in that ear. So he was mixing his records, only being able to hear out of one ear, and eventually he fired Brian Wilson. Brian Wilson got sick of his father, Murray Wilson, and just fired him. And it actually is on a recording. The tape was going in the studio when he fired his father. And so his father went out and got some other guys to form a rival band to the Beach Boys because he was saying it was really me that made the Beach Boys the popular band. Not, I can do it again. I can create a new band that will. He was just trying to show his son and his sons. It's just a moron. Of course, it was not as big. Okay, so no, I got more records I gotta pull up from downstairs. This is a good record, as I recall. The twist, all these Ray Anthony records are good. The Twist with Ray Anthony. Told you before that Ray Anthony was married to Mamie Van Doren. Not that that will make his music better. It's great music though. Maybe he got sick of Mamie Van Doren's liberal politics. I mean, Mamie Van Doren was beautiful. She was like there was Marilyn Monroe, and then there was Jane Mansfield, and then there was Mamie Van Doren, who was mainly in B movies, but she was beautiful. Yeah, but she's still around on Facebook. She's very very left leaning, but that doesn't mean that she wasn't wonderful in all her movies. Can't. It's just the way I love Anne Margaret, and I love Al Hurt. This is a gatefold record. It's just from, I don't know, the 80s, with a lot of her songs. But Anne Margaret was wonderful. Of course, Al Hurt was the guy that performed the Green Hornet theme on the television Green Hornet. What else do we have here? Stereo in Motion, sounds you see and hear, percussion in a tribute to Harry James. Oh, here's a Bobby Darin. That's all. They stamped. You can tell they stamped this on the existing covers because it's a stereo disc. They were using the. Oh, here's another Ray Anthony record. Like Wild. Kind of looks like a West Side Story a little bit there. He was a big band guy, but a 50s big band guy. The big band had its peak in the early 40s. He does the Peter Gunn theme. Yeah, this is definitely amazing. Guess I'll take a little bit of these records upstairs. All right, let's head on up. I'm working as I'm doing the show. I'm trying to build back better. And I'm actually making progress. It's really incredible. So hopefully you'll come on as a guest tonight. It would be really cool to have as many viewers as possible, even if you've never appeared before. It'd be nice to see people pop on. Okay. I'm making a little bit of room here to put some records. So let me set you guys down for a moment. Okay. So it's we got some snow yesterday. But before I could get out to film it, it had pretty much melted off. There may be some more tomorrow if you want me to film it. Oh, it sounds like it's raining out here. Or is that may just be snow dripping off the roof, actually. Yeah. I can still see a little trace of the snow. Okay. Oh, I've got to take this step ladder into the other room because I need to hang a bat from the ceiling for the guest bedroom. And some others I need to hang up. Yeah, maybe I should do that now. Like this Smokey the Bear should be hung from the ceiling, ladies and gentlemen, and he isn't, so. Oh, there's Alan the cat. Hi, Alan. Oh, I didn't mean to scare you away, Alan the cat. Oh, my goodness. Alan the cat likes that bed. So, he doesn't like being disturbed. I feel bad. In through this door is the comic book room. Except I have boxes where the door won't open. Oh, that's not good. Oh yeah, now it opens. And in here, oh shit! Pardon my language, ladies and gentlemen. This is all an ongoing project, ladies and gentlemen. What did I knock over here? Oh, I see. A lot of stuff I gotta take downstairs and file, and some filing cabinets in the basement. Here's thrilling crime cases, number something, ladies and gentlemen. That needs to be put away. Neil Adams' greatest work, Skate Man. There's a Flash 227. There's not enough light, is there? Flash 2. Shit. Flash 227. And The Phantom from Charlton 72. I need to. Where do I have my Charlton books? Here. Charlton Box 1, Charlton Box 2. Yeah, I got some Charlton to file. Let's get this laptop open and ready to broadcast live through StreamYard tonight for tonight's big party. I was organizing some Disney comics last night. Like the Phantom Blot meets Super Goof. What else is fantastic in here? Uncle Scrooge. There's the late 60s Walt Disney's Comics and Stories. This would be dated January of 1969. Let's see. Oh, my password is incorrect, you dirty rotten. All right, welcome. It's allowing me in. Let's get the show for tonight started, because then maybe there'll be people. Okay, so question is, what episode would it be? Okay, so let's go to YouTube and see what episode this episode is, because I have no idea. So,
do you love getting high, but smoking hurts your lungs? I've got you covered. You need to try these.
No.
And these people,
Look,
their
David
own
Nino
families
Rodriguez
will have
is
to
on
change
live.
their last name. I'm calling it right here. So, my fellow Americans, the battle is still waging, but the taste of victory is on our lips. And in my case, Sancho is on my stash. I like it.
I'll show you what I'm talking about. That's
How
so
many of you
Chloe.
women out there are like, ew, he's so gross. He's so gross.
This is the, I can't play their music, but this is Sir Chloe. This is actually good music. You gotta, I don't know, listen to it. Maybe you'll hate it. Tell me what you think down below, whether I've lost my mind completely or not. Let's see. Seems like I'm not getting notifications from YouTube as much. Captain Strangelove had an episode up for 3 days before I saw that it was there. It seems like I've rung the bell. It's supposed to tell me a new show is up. Okay, so the last show that I did was episode 696.
How about that? Where there's life, there's Budweiser.
So if that's 696, then you're watching right now episode 697. And if that's the case, then the one I'm creating on StreamYard would be 698. So this is how you do it on StreamYard. You hit a live stream, studio. Okay, so I hit that. And then you type in the name of the episode. What did I just say? The Tomb of Terror number. I've already forgotten the name of the number of the episode. Let's see if I'll go back. 696. Okay, so I'm putting in 698. Okay. 6. And well, I'll call the episode Big Friday Night Party. We'll call it a house party. Big Friday Night House Party. Okay. Just say something about this broadcast. Come celebrate with us live and public, schedule for later, and then they want me to upload a thumbnail image. Let's see what we've got here in the archive of pictures. Yes, would you alert the media, please? Yes, Mike Lindell, Fox News. What else? ANN. Yeah, alert. Contact Donald Trump so he can come on as a guest. I think he's coming to the state this weekend. He could come on here and promote his speech about education. Yep. Would you get a hold of all those people, alert them that we're going live tonight in the Tomb of Terror. Thank you. Okay, what pictures should I put up? What pictures should I put up? All right, so you're here to see comic books, right? How about this amazing cover? It's Christmas and Trains all together. Christmas Parade. It's almost Christmas. It's only, what, let's see, about 9 months away. What else can I show? Okay, well, we got to put these Disney comics back in the closet. That's one thing we got to do. It's, what in the name of heck is going on? Sometimes if you don't put up a good enough thumbnail picture, you're not going to get many views. That may be the problem. That may be one of my problems, besides having an incredibly boring television program, ladies and gentlemen. But some people enjoy this show. Let's see. My goodness. Oh, that looks like a good thumbnail. Yes, indeed, I love that. Well, all right. Scheduled start time. Well, Central Standard. Oh, this weekend, by the way, there's the time change. Tomorrow night at midnight, or at 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever, you spring forward. So right now it's 10:53. It will be 11:53 in the morning next week at this time. So let's say we're going to start it at 7. Oops, what did I just do? That was a big darn mistake. 7. I'll say I'm going to start at 7:20. And then once you do this, it'll always give you, whenever it appears, it'll always say you're starting, you put 7:20, it'll say starts at 3 in the morning. They never, for some reason, it always screws up somehow in transit. I don't know. So, it looks like it's scheduled. I'll even go in the studio and get everything ready to go. Let's see if it's showing up here when you look at, let's see here, live. Oh yeah, there it is. Big Friday night house party, the Tomb of Terror 698. Click on it. I'll give it the first like. live in 8 hours, and notify me. So it would be nice if I know that I'm. It's time for me to go on. And there I am. Look at that. How about that? Can you even see? Oh, anyway, it's like an infinity cover. The mic is working. See, look, the mic is working, and even though I don't have a mic, I don't know. It never sounds great, but let's see. Enter studio. And I'll click to add to stream. Oh, let's see. I need to invite people. So I hit invite, and I save, and I can copy this, and then I go over to the comments. Oh, no, I got rid of the comments. And then I post it down here as a comment. Oh, you didn't even see what I'm doing. Okay, sorry. So I post it as a comment, paste, and then I hit that thing. All right. And then nothing happens. Oh, there we go. And then it'll show up there. That's the address you'll need tonight to get on the broadcast. https://streamyard.com/9JGTE7GS8U. All right. So all I got to do tonight is hit go live, and we'll be ready to go with that mess. All right. Let me get these boxes up. Oh, wow. My knees are still bugging me. Ow. These are very lightweight. Ow. Okay. Incredible. Ladies and gentlemen. Well, here's that catapult I was talking about. I need to take some of these knights downstairs and put them with. We were looking at these knights the other day. I need to reunite them. Okay. We can look at more records if you want. I'm trying to find a couple of records that have Betty Page on the cover, and a couple that have the Seaberg Jukebox on the cover, because I want to pull those, and so eventually they'll turn up as I go through more records. All right. Well, it's Elon Musk. All right. Okay. Got all these little knights. We were looking at them last time. Oh, this is the bat I wanted to hang up upstairs. If you were watching last time, we sort of put these together. Got this little Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle guy from John Gores. Oh, you can't even see when I'm... see the turtle up on top of the stagecoach. Yes, indeed.
But I think we want to be a little bit wary of actually puffing too much. It sounds a little odd, but
Oh, I don't want to hang the bat right yet.
some amount of
Let's go get some more records to look at.
wrong with hospitalization. The whole thing doesn't collapse.
All right, so we've got the broadcast ready to go for tonight. Hopefully all the guests are still going to be able to come on. Okay, what do we got here? We're doing our taxes, and as we were doing our taxes, we realized just how expensive that move was, man. We spent a lot of money moving. So, a lot. An astounding amount, ladies and gentlemen. Astounding. Okay, this is enough records for right now. Got a whole armload here. But then it turns out moving expenses, unless you're in the military, aren't a thing. But they count on your state taxes. We've never done state taxes before because in Texas they only have federal. The state doesn't tax you, so this is a whole new thing. So we'll find out. We're probably more than halfway through having the taxes finished. We waited a long time, but I'm sure most of you have already done that. Hopefully we'll get some money back that will tide us over during the lean summer months coming up. Okay. Well, here's another Earl Bostic record. Oh no, I'm running out of electricity on the phone. There's the original price tag. This record was $2.25. The best of Bostic. Okay, let me get the electrical cord. All right. Well, Alex Jones's program has started. He comes on at 11 o'clock Central. I pretty much most of my life lived in the central time zone. It's weird. When we lived in Tacoma, Washington, it was weird to have the network shows start at 8 o'clock at night instead of 7. But now, who watches network shows anymore? That used to be the only thing in town. Now almost everything we watch, literally almost completely everything we watch is either on YouTube or Rumble. Okay, here's another Jack Davis cover. Bob and Ray, A Stereo Spectacular. Jack Davis did a lot of album This I can't really show you this next cover. There's the top of it. It's Boss Hogg. It's a good record. Drinking Lion and Lechen, or Drinking Lechen and Lion from Amphetamine Reptile Records. It's just that, man, there's really no way to show you the record. Boss Hogg, because it's inappropriate, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, it's a good album cover. It's just not family friendly. Here's Blondie, Eat to the Beat. You know, I guess I don't follow People magazine or something. I thought Deborah Harry was still with Chris Stein. I found out that they separated decades ago. But I remember the old days, you know, that Chris Stein had some horrible malady, disease, and she stuck with him and nursed him. And I thought, what a wonderful couple. And but apparently, the day that Andy Warhol died, she split with Chris Stein, and he's gone on and gotten married to someone else, had children, and Deborah Harry is the godmother to those children, so they're friendly. But I thought they were still a couple. The other person that was really good about that, Anne Margaret, although she stayed with the guy, she was married to, man, what's the name of that actor? He was on some TV show in the 60s. He got really sick, and she stayed with him and nursed with him for years and took care of him. Johnny and Dorsey Burnett together again. 14 newly discovered demo recordings by the legendary Burnett brothers. From Solid Smoke Records. Elvis's Golden Records, that's very common. I mean, you can find that record. George and James, The Residents, American Composer Series, Volume 1. So on one side, they do the music of George Gershwin. On the other side, they do the music of James Brown. But if you know The Residents, it's very interesting versions. They had a Volume 2 with the music of Hank Williams and John Philip Sousa. This is what The Residents look like. If you saw them in concert, they never revealed their faces. I saw them in concert at the, man, what was that? It was an old movie theater that had converted into a venue on Greenville Avenue. That old movie theater, I don't know if it's still there. It started with an A, I think. I can't remember, but anyway, I saw the Residents there and the Ramones and I think the Cramps once. A lot of good bands I saw there. Here's another mad artist doing a cover for Bob and Ray, Mort Drucker. So you know Bob and Ray, they got Mort Drucker, they got Jack Davis to do other album covers. You know, they were a comedy act that were really funny. I think they were radio DJs, and then they had a comedy career. Yeah, I imagine it's online. You can listen to these records on YouTube. The Residents did a cover version of the Rolling Stones' Satisfaction. Listen, stop this video, go listen to, or wait till it's over, so the YouTube algorithm shows that you watched it longer. But look up The Residents' Satisfaction, right? Hopefully it's on YouTube. It's the most insane version of Satisfaction with screaming. It sounds like World War III. So, my friends, I just got a message from one of our guests tonight. Yes, absolutely, Friday tonight is still a go, so we'll have some amazing stuff happening tonight on tonight's show. Okay, so my friend Tom Ranoni and his, before I met him, and his friend Steve, they were the guys that ran, I didn't mention it in a previous episode, they were the ones that ran the Peter Gunn theme for the school song for the class of '81 at Arlington High School. Anyway, about a block or so from Arlington High School was Mama's Pizza. That location isn't there anymore, but there's still a Mama's Pizza in Arlington and one in Fort Worth, and that's great pizza. And every Tuesday, it's like, sorry for not responding. I tripled the size of the set we were building, and we're pulling for. Okay, so they're building a big set. I don't think for tonight's show. What time is the show? She's asking, and I can't respond until the show's over, but I will. She's sending me these messages on Instagram. They're popping up on the top of my phone. Anyway, the person I'm talking to is her fiance, who you will see tonight, is the cousin of Tom, who I'm talking about, who's since passed away. But anyway, he was a good friend for many years. Okay, Mama's Pizza, a great place. Now it's 11. Oh, they torment me every Tuesday or every other Tuesday. They send it's Tuesday. You get a special discount on your pizza tonight, but it's 11 hours away, and but it's some of the best pizza I've ever had in my life. Probably the best. So, Steve and Tom, good friends. They were together. They were inseparable, like Lone Ranger and Tonto. Became good friends with the manager of Mama's Pizza there on Cooper Street, and they had a jukebox in there. This is the early 80s and late 70s, And Arlington High School had an open lunch deal where, if you were a junior or senior, at lunchtime, you could leave the campus and eat at, all the restaurants around there, Taco Bell, Dairy Queen, all that. Which you youngsters know as DQ. So they were friends with the manager, and sometimes they'd say, hey, you got to put this record on the jukebox, because they were really into The Who and the Rolling Stones, right? So they gave him a record, Satisfaction, and I'm sure the manager must have thought it was the Rolling Stones, but it wasn't. And sometimes they'd be eating in there, and people would put a quarter in and play a few songs, and that version of the Residents' Rolling Stones would start playing, and all the customers would be horrified and complaining. And I think they eventually said, hey, Tom, here's your record back. We can't have that playing in the jukebox. But anyway, I wish I could have been there when that song came on the jukebox, just to see the looks of horror on their faces. Yeah, well, let's see. Let's look at a few more records. I was just thinking of something when I mentioned Dairy Queen. Here's a Glenn Miller record. Actually, the original recordings. Here's a great band. The Chocolate Watch Band. Yeah, they were great. It's a gatefold. Patsy Cline, I Can't Forget You. She was just fantastic, and another victim of a plane crash. Okay, so I was thinking of Dairy Queen and how it's now, look, they made the corporate decision to call it DQ. And I was talking about this, I think, last time, or a recent episode. I was talking about how Kentucky Fried Chicken is now just KFC. And everything has just been reduced to abbreviations. KFC, HIV, I don't know. People just don't want to say the whole word. I'm trying to think of other things. KFC, DQ. Anyway, people just don't want to. So my wife gets this soap for the bathroom. I wanted to show you this. And I guess it smells good, Women care about what soap smells like. So here, I'll bring this down to show you. It's south of France. All right. Yeah, you got to tune in tonight because this will. I don't even know what they have planned, but it'll be a surprise. And then all you guys can come on too. It'll be great. Okay, so here's the soap. It's called South of France. Right, very elegant looking. Let me readjust that. I'm using the tripod. It has these little bendy legs, and I'm bending the legs around one of the rungs of a step ladder, and that's my tripod. And this tripod is courtesy of Captain Strangelove. Okay, so South of France. But now when you order it, this is an older bottle. Oh, it's shea butter. Borel de Karate. Oh, speaking of karate and kung fu, it's Chuck Norris's birthday, so that should be one of the things we're celebrating tonight. Well, now it's SOF instead of South of France, as if everyone knows that SOF stands for South of France. Do I have a marker, man? That won't work. Hold on a second. Here's Pete the Cat, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing, Pete the Cat? You see yourself there? Pete the Cat, ladies and gentlemen. Here you go. Sorry, Pete. Okay, so now I've got this marker. Okay, so watch the magic. So anyway, I've been wanting to do this for a while. Hopefully I can do it well on the fly here. We're doing a real-life wacky package, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you that are my age remember wacky packages from the 1970s. Parodies of products you get in the supermarket. I've never seen this in a supermarket. Of course, I don't look at the soap aisle, but my wife mail orders this stuff. It comes in. She gets a bunch of it at the same time. Come on, let's get this right. One mess up, ladies and gentlemen, and it won't look good. Okay. Can you guess what I did? Now it's SOB or SOB, however you want to interpret it. So, South of France, it would have been really hard to do that. But when you reduce it to this silly acronym, I can easily convert SOF to SOB. Oh, we need dots, because otherwise it looks like SOB. If we have dots, we know it definitely is standing for something else. I should suggest to Alex Jones that he sells SOB soap on his InfoWarsStore.com, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, does that look better to have dots? SOB. Oh, well, you guys are about to die an electrical death. So I need to plug you guys back in, and then we'll have power to complete this broadcast. Okay, records. I thought, like this is what people are collecting now. I should get more views. But unless, maybe I should put it in the description under the video. Because all the people, according to YouTube statistics, all the people who watch this are in their 50s and early 60s. So, but the people that are collecting records, that are calling them vinyls, are younger. They're in their, they're the millennials. But that audience does not watch this show at all. So how do I attract their attention? for like Dance Party, The Commanders, and so they can learn about this music that I've been collecting for years. So I guess, I don't know how. That's up to YouTube and its algorithm to send this out to those people. Here's Wild Wild Young Women. These are female rock and roll. Oh, I'll tell you what, the Collins Kids. Look up the Collins Kids. They're great. It was Lori and Larry Collins. Lori Collins was dating Ricky Nelson for a while back in the 50s, and Larry Collins went on to be a songwriter. He wrote Delta Dawn. That's a great song. Skull and Crossbones by Sparkle Moore. That's a great song. Janice Martin was great. She was billed the female Elvis. She was on RCA Records too. That's her there in the center, Janice Martin. And then there was also this series that came out in the 80s called Hot Boppin' Girls. And these are all the same kind of stuff. These girl rockabilly people, Laura Lee Perkins, Barbara Allen, Rita Del Mar, Gwen Davis. Great music. All this, I am almost positive you can get all of this on YouTube. And of course, you can record from YouTube if you know what you're doing. This one's got Skull and Crossbones by Sparkle Moore also. You just have to have old technology, and you can record music and video from YouTube. I think you can download from YouTube. I don't know. You probably would know better than me. Here's Volume 2. It was a series that just kept going for a while. Because people in other countries, I think these are imports. Yeah. We forget the great music and culture that we produce here in this country, but people over in England and France and Spain, over in Europe, they don't like us much now, but they like our culture from the past, and they adore it. They just, but we've forgotten. We like new stuff, and we just forget the old musicians and the old music and the old stuff and how great it was. We don't forget it here on the Gratu Orloff Inspirational Network, but it's a tendency that people have. These Martin Denny records. Martin Denny's famous for Quiet Village. Every one of these Martin Denny records has the same woman on the cover. Her name was Sandy Warren, if I'm not mistaken. But, she'll look different. She might look Asian on one album cover. She might have blonde hair on another one. But it's the same model. And then they decided, well, let's see if she can sing. They put out a record, I have it, where she sings. But anyway, I like this one, Primitiva, the exotic sounds of Martin Denny. And Martin Denny would have it sounds like the music that you'd hear. It has like exotic sounds in the background of birds and jungle sounds as you're listening to the music. It's really cool, especially in stereo, Anyway, what the heck am I talking about? It's all part of that exotica music craze of the 50s, as Hawaii it was a big deal. Hawaii was becoming a state, and guys were remembering being stationed in the South Seas Islands during World War II, and those guys were now in their mid-30s and had some disposable income to go out and buy records. So you'll find these all over the place. But anyway, this one's great because she kind of reminds me of Nova and Planet of the Apes. And if you know me, you know how much I love Planet of the Apes. The real Planet of the Apes. Okay, what do we got here? Oh, it's another Jack Davis cover. Dracula's Greatest Hits. Now this really is good. It says, warning, this is a horrible record, but don't believe that. It's a fantastic record. I Want to Bite Your Hand. It's sounds like Bela Lugosi has joined the Beatles on that one. And it has the King Kong stomp. The guy doing the voices in this is Gene Moss. Now, Gene Moss, do you remember Roger Ramjet, the cartoon? He did the voices on that cartoon. And in Los Angeles, in the Los Angeles market, in the mid-'60s, Gene Moss did a children's show. He was the host of a children's show that showed cartoons. There's an episode you can get on YouTube, and they would show cartoons. Like the episode I've got on a DVD is on YouTube. They may have cut out the cartoon for copyright reasons because it was a '66 Marvel Superheroes Thor cartoon. But he was the mad scientist, and he had a little Frankenstein puppet named Shrimpenstein. So the name of the show is called Shrimpenstein. They even put out a 45, and I think he controlled the puppet and did the voice of the puppet too. So he was a master of voices. He was one of those guys, kind of like Stan Freberg. Anyway, this is one of the great monster records of the 60s because it's genuinely funny and it has great artwork. This is supposed to have inside of it, says this album contains 15 fun cards of your favorite monsters. So you're not often going to see it really containing those. And this one did not contain it. Look, he's got the monster cards cheap. Great stuff. One of the great records. And this record, I'm sure, is also something you can listen to on YouTube. Here's Elvira, Vinyl Macabre. Or as I used to pronounce it in third grade, Macabre. I think I pronounced it. I didn't know how to pronounce it. I think probably the first time I saw that, I don't know, it was probably always on the front cover of Marvel horror comics, and you don't know how to pronounce that word, macabre. And then Atlas Seaboard put out a Warren Magazine style comic magazine called Weird Tales of the Macabre. And so I guess I might have asked my dad, how do you pronounce that word? I don't know. At some point I learned to pronounce that word. Probably still I'm not saying it completely correctly. This is several volumes of this. Sound Effects number 21. There was one called Death and Horror, and this one's called More Death and Horror. This is all from the BBC, the British Broadcasting Company. So it's all sounds of people screaming as they're being tortured, and the sounds of a rack and stuff. On the back, you have tracks like Death of the Fly, Vampire Feeding, Death by Harry Carey, Sweeney Todd the Barber, Wind Through a Crack in Door. How is Wind Through a Crack in the Door death and horror? I guess it's horror. Wind in the Trees, Synthesized Wind, Sea Monster. The foghorns call and are answered by a slimy horror. Sharpening the Knife, Falling Scream, Premature Burial, Wild Dogs, The Iron Maiden. Anyway, that's just side one. Here's Horrific Halloween Spooktacular. Scary scores and sounds. This is, man, this is on the cover of Famous Monsters. It's from the poster for Horror Hotel. I used to think it was Jack Davis art. I think I'm right. No, it's Ron Cobb. says Ron Cobb, courtesy of James Warren. So this really was first on a Famous Monsters cover. But it's also on that Horror Hotel. Maybe it's on the Horror Hotel poster, and then Ron Cobb did a painting based on yeah, that's probably what it is. That's the executive producers Vern Langdon and Milt Larson. That's clearly Bob Burns. Remember I can instantly recognize his ape suit has a real personality. Remember he played Spencer. No, he was Tracy on the Ghostbusters live action filmation show, right? There was Spencer, Tracy, and Kong. But you would think that the ape was the one that was called Kong, but no, he was called Tracy. And then one of was Forrest Tucker and oh man, why does my head not work? The two guys from F Troop. This one had a better cover. I mean, the Munsters are wonderful, but it had a illustrated cover on its first release, and I think maybe the Munsters came out and they switched over to this. But it had a really good cover with, I think it was Jack Davis with Dracula conducting an orchestra of all monsters. It's this guy, Milton DeLugg. It's music for monsters, mummies, and other TV fiends. They do the exciting sound of Milton DeLugg and his orchestra. You've got the Munsters theme, Bewitched, theme from the Addams Family, theme for The Thing, theme for King Kong, Ghost Meets Ghoul, theme for The Creature, Alfred Hitchcock theme for Outer Limits, Frankenstein, theme for this would be also available on YouTube. Almost all these records, you're going to find them on YouTube. Shoot. Okay, what do we got here? Oh, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Al Caiola, the guitar. Tough guitar, Tijuana style. Two record set, special value. 25 greatest instrumental hits. The Challengers, they were very much like the Ventures, surf music. They have a fantastic version of Out of Limits. Not Outer Limits, Out of Limits. Look up the Challengers Out of Limits. It's a very Twilight Zone sounding surf rock and roll song. Look it up on YouTube. Chubby Checker for teen twisters only. Adults twist at your own risk. It's from the Sharon Williams Pedigree Collection. Here's Twist with Chubby Checker. You know, he was starting. I think some record executives said, well, he's like Fats Domino, but he's not as big. Well, he's not Fats Domino, he's Chubby Checker. Anyway. Here's the best of the Challengers. Probably a lot of the same songs that would have been on that last record. Here's William Castle's Ghost Story. The thrilling, chilling sounds of fright and the supernatural. This record should not be listened to by the very young or tender-hearted. Producer William Castle has been scaring people for many years. Of the 105 motion pictures he has either directed or produced, most have been described as supernatural shockers. A suitable heading for this new hour-long dramatic television series from Screen Gems, appropriately titled Ghost Story. I don't know that I ever saw that TV show. I picked this up in 5th grade when we were living in Tacoma, Washington, just because it's clearly a horror record. The master of gory chills and good wholesome horror will bring all of the cinematic expertise that he has brought to such classic films as Rosemary's Baby, Straight Jacket, The Night Walkers, and The House on Haunted Hill into the making of each week's episode of Ghost Story. The sources for his stories range from world's literature to stories as contemporary as the television newscast. Wholesome horror. That's weird to hear the word wholesome in the same paragraph with Rosemary's Baby. That was a truly terrifying movie. If you watch it, you really realize that everyone's against her. Her doctor, the neighbors, even her husband. I don't mean to ruin the movie for you, but she has no hope. Peter Pan Records is delighted to have the opportunity to bring to the public its original recording production based on William Castle's Ghost Story. There's always been a large audience to enjoy the horror or fright story, whether it be by sight or sound or written word. And so Peter Pan Records has massed together the ultimate in fright and suspense sounds. Take the warning on the cover, this record is not to be played by the very young or the tender-hearted, not too lightly. And the tracks of The Deadly Dog, The Deadly Orchid, The Dead Do Return, The Deadly Waiter, Lobotomy, and The Shock Treatment. Side B, The Beast in the Night, The Cathedral of Evil, Terror from the Tomb. It says this recording is definitely not recommended for children under 8 years of age. How about that? All right. Incredible. I hope my wife isn't upset by me doing this. I don't know. I just don't like when things are altered just because people are stupid or don't want to pronounce a whole. I mean, like, how much time do you really save? Instead of South of France, you say SOF. How much time did I save saying SOF? And SOF really doesn't mean anything. It doesn't have any particular meaning. I like words to mean things. I don't like having to get online and figure out what IRL means and Timcast IRL. That museum there is like never open. I want to go out and hang over there and talk to the guy that runs the museum and pick his brain about the history of this area, and I'd like to record interviews with him about that. But he said, well, come on over whenever my car is there. And I noticed that there were cars always there on Thursday nights, so I figured maybe there's a local historical group that meets there on Thursday nights. And then I was talking to the neighbor, and he said, no, on Thursday nights is the AA meeting. So if I'd gone over there, that wouldn't have been a good thing. Not that there's anything wrong with AA meetings, I just don't. That wouldn't have been the reason. So... Anyway, here's a bunch of original Star Wars figures. Maybe there's something I can show you that'll entertain you. Let's see. Oh, here's we were talking about Irish McCullough last time. Here's an autographed picture of Irish McCullough. Best wishes, Irish McCullough. Here's an autographed picture of Gene Tierney. There's a lot of reflection. You can't really see anything. Here's a picture of my wife. I gotta put that somewhere. How about over here? That's what I do is I think, I'm working on a house. I just moved this like 10 feet over and put it here. So that's big progress. When this episode's over, I'll start hanging those all those inflatable Beatles and Smokey the Bear and that bat in that room. Okay. Oh, I moved. Everything was kind of crammed together. I moved this TV here with all the space stuff on top of it, and I moved the stereo over. That's another. Oh, I showed you that the other day. And so I moved the 40 stereo downstairs. I'll show you what it looks like now. This broadcast will end any second, more than likely, because it usually ends about an hour and 21 minutes in. Although last time I think it went to maybe an hour and 29 minutes. Then I can contact my friends and coordinate tonight's broadcast. See, look here. This stereo, I got this at a garage sale back in the old country. So I put one of those knights you were looking at last time here. It's almost like he's fighting King Kong. He's almost exactly in scale with the Fay Ray here. So it's like he's, we got a Mr. Peanut, the Magic 8 Ball. Will I get more subscribers, Magic 8 Ball? Doesn't even work anymore, ladies and gentlemen. There may not be hardly any liquid left in this. Oh, well. Speaking of Goliath and the vampires, I was watching on YouTube Hercules against Moloch last night. So, since I'm starting to realize, okay, all these politicians, Hillary Clinton, all those people, it's like, are they really worshiping Lucifer or Satan? No, they're actually worshiping Moloch. So I thought, let's research Moloch, this ancient god that they used to sacrifice to. And I found, there's one where Hercules, I think Gordon Scott playing Hercules, defeats Moloch. So that should be good. Let's see. What do we have over here? Oh, let's look at some books. Some of you guys know how to read out there. Let's see. Let me set you guys up here. This is a good book. It's It's The Paintings of J. Allen St. John, Grand Master of Fantasy. He was the guy that painted the original printings of Edgar Rice Burroughs' books. So, this is what that's what he looked like. How about that? Yeah, so this is the actual, what this, authorized by Edgar Rice Burroughs. This is what, Tarzan and all those characters, John Carter, really should look like. Let's see, what is this book here? I haven't gone through all these books with you. Maybe I should do that next time. You can tell me. 8 dime novels. So these are, this is the precursor of the pulps. Here's Deadwood Dick. Look at all that tiny print. Nick Carter. Back when they looked like that and sold for 5 cents. Yeah, so that's stuff well over 100 years old. What else would entertain you? What is this book? It has nothing on the spine. Oh, I see what that is.